Hey guys, NJ Radar today bringing you a very special location here in New Jersey. Somewhat popular, but somewhat unknown. Very interesting, called Luna Park. I'm not going to say too many details right up from the beginning because I want you to introduce where are we today?
Luna Parc is my home, it's my studio, and it's also my greatest obsession in life.
Greatest obsession in what way as an artist?
I can't really separate myself from this house. Everything is here. It's my ego. It's my fantasy. It's my passion. It's literally my blood, sweat, and tears. I'm here now 36 years. So what you're seeing here is lots and lots of layers and concepts and an evolution of all kinds of design elements, things that I've experienced from all over the world. I've traveled around the world. So what you will see here is kind of this culmination of everything that I've experienced in my lifetime.
In a way that you can put it together visually.
Yeah, and I couldn't really even pinpoint what that is. I don't even understand. Most frequently asked question is, they said, oh, well, why do you do this? Or how'd you get started? I'm like, I don't know. Well, I needed a place to live.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, I needed a place to live. I was 28 years old, and this is in 1988. And I walked across this little bridge, my driveway bridge, with my realtor. I took one look at this dilapidated little cabin, and I knew that this would be the place I would spend the rest of my life. So if there was any kind of like a master plan, like cosmic master plan, for me to realize that I was going to be here literally for the rest of my life. So that's my master plan.
So do you think in that very moment, I'm curious, did you have any vision for what it was going to look like, or you just wanted to wing it? Or did you have an idea of
whatsoever.
like
I
you were going to hand make everything?
Yeah, I could have never looked even a decade ahead. I had a pretty big task ahead of me because this house had no insulation. It had lousy windows. It had barely any plumbing. In fact, actually, that outhouse over there was my main toilet. And the electricity was definitely substandard. So any normal person who would have bought this house would have knocked it down. But at 28 years old, I mean, I had nowhere else to go. So I had no choice but to live in it and renovate it. And I'm still glad I did. This is still the original little cabin, this little, what looks like a little dollhouse. I lived with that for years before I decided that I needed to replace the outhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like the first thing. I needed a proper bathroom. So being that I'm a true maximalist, it wouldn't have been enough for me just to build, like a functional bathroom. It had to be an event.
Oh, that's amazing.
A few years ago, NJ.com did a story, and they determined through an algorithm that my bathroom is the most photographed bathroom in the state of New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good honor.
That's cool.
So I went from that outhouse literally to the most opulent, amazing bathroom that took me 5 years to build. That's where it started. When I expanded the house, then all of a sudden it like unlocked this like maniac in me. And I literally have not stopped.
Oh.
And now 36 years later, I've literally quadrupled or quintupled the size of the original house. With the house next door that I bought, it's 8.5 acres, the whole property. And I've covered probably about half of that with sculptures and little niches and little vignettes all around the property.
Yeah, I noticed as soon as we pulled up, from the beginning, there's many different types of materials. We have metals, we have ceramics, and we have signs that everything looks like it was either found or made by you specifically.
Yeah, well, I grew up with a family of artisans, so all the Italians, the old Italians on both sides of my family were carpenters and woodworkers. We had masons, we had seamstresses, we had chefs, and like fun, kooky thinkers on both sides of the family. So I grew up in a family of artisans, arts and artisans, and some funny, kooky intellectuals. I had a lot of experience just growing up in this family and came here with a lot of great skills. And then I honed those skills, and that's when I taught myself this mosaic, other ceramic techniques. I built myself a workshop with a full ceramic studio. And going back to my roots as, with the Italian carpenters, then I was pretty confident I could build probably anything. And I built all this, like physically, like swinging the hammer, building it. A lot of the visitors want to know about something as mundane as building codes. The building inspector. I guess they were hoping that I would say that, oh, there's all this conflict with the town. But reality is that the construction is actually pretty conventional.
Yeah, I see
there's
it.
nothing unusual about the construction itself. It's actually overbuilt. I built it way over what state codes are. Of course, the exterior, the facade, is quite unconventional. But fortunately, in my town, this is Sandyston, New Jersey, we don't have any design codes or architectural codes.
That's interesting.
So I am fortunate because I could have never done this probably almost anywhere else in New Jersey.
Wow. So it really was fated that you ended up.
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt, yeah. And I felt that literally from the very beginning.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely feel there's a lot of energy in this area.
So when I first moved here, down the street on 206 was a man. He went by Chief Thundercloud, and he was a native Cherokee man. So when I first moved here, this would have been August of 1989, and I had a big party, sort of like my first housewarming party, and Chief Thundercloud blessed the house, and he smudged the house. And ever since then, it's always been a very calm, very peaceful, loving house, the whole property. So it was very conducive to, art and...
So when you first saw it, it was, give a little more of a description, like just one story. You almost said it looked like a shed.
Yeah, it was kind of a shack.
A shack, yeah.
Yeah, so it was about 600 square feet. It was really just a few rooms and the outhouse.
And then what have you grown it to be? Like stories? I see there's a roof.
So there's
over
actually
there. Can you
11.
get on the
Yeah,
roof?
there's 11 levels, not stories, but there's 11 levels, and it's now 15 rooms. So so it's I haven't really even measured what the square footage is.
Only one bathroom? The most photographed bathroom?
Yeah. One bathroom, one bedroom. Yeah, and I live here alone, so
Yeah.
it's all my personal space.
Yeah, so it was a space and you had to like expand it, create your own space. Did it have a kitchen in the beginning or no?
It did have a kitchen, yep.
Like, it was a fully livable space.
Like camping.
Yeah,
it was like a seasonal cabin, so...
you remember the color?
Well, it was just gray asbestos siding. There was no color.
Yeah.
There was no color at all.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, the first thing I did was I took, paint and I rolled paint on top of the asbestos siding. And I kind of made a mark almost immediately, probably within the first week that I lived here. I had already painted the house like primary colors. So it was off and running, like literally the first night that I lived here.
I'm curious about the structure there. You have like you said, there's a regular house looking structure. You have a square framing, and then there is the space to the left that looks like it was concrete.
So that's I call that the artichoke portico. So that was actually, of everything that I've ever done on this house, that was the most difficult construction. So I built an armature out of rebar and a galvanized mesh. It's all welded together and stitched together. And I bought a concrete sprayer. So I actually sprayed the concrete onto it, and then it had to be hand troweled. So it took months and months, and I had a lot of help with it, but it was really, really hard work. And it's probably, I think it's about 3 tons of concrete in that.
Wow.
The armature had very specific features, like the slopes that I see, kind of like the leaves, the banana leaves looking thing.
So,
or was that made by the sprayer?
No,
or is that actually the armature?
I had to construct all those out of the lath.
Got you.
I mean, it evolved as I was doing it, because originally I thought it would be sort of like a gourd, like gourd shaped.
Yeah.
And then I thought I'd add a couple leaves, and then it started looking like an eggplant, actually. And then I kept adding more leaves. I was just not really satisfied with how it was filling out. And then now, to me, it looks like an upside down artichoke.
Is it actually connected to the house? Like, can you walk in?
That's
into
actually
the
entrance to the house.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to go through that.
At the core, what would you say you are? Like, as an artist, a ceramic, a sculpture? Do you paint?
You know what? I've actually made a point never to classify myself by my media, because I work in metal, wood, ceramic, glass. I work in ceramic, but I would never say I'm a ceramist. I make jewelry, but I would never say I'm a jeweler. So yeah, I'm just like I'm say multimedia artist because I wouldn't discriminate. I mean, I love all materials.
Does gardening play a role into the theme of the park or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Gardening is important. Landscaping is really super important. It really just enhances the sculptures and the house. However, I would say that's the one thing that's probably the most difficult. It's even more difficult than mixing a ton of concrete, is maintaining and constantly beating back nature, like literally relentless. And this year, with all the rain we had, it's just like literally it's like out of control right now. So, and I can only do so much. If I could afford anything in my life, I would have a full-time groundskeeper. Like 364 days a year. 360 days a year.
But the position is not available yet.
If it is available, yes. We would have to negotiate, but yeah, just weeding alone, is challenging.
There you go, guys. Get your gardening game up.
Were you always creating as a child? Like, was this something you've always done? Was there an age or an experience that made you realize, like, oh my God, like I love to create something?
There was not a point in my life that I was not an artist or identified with being an artist. So, like I said, coming from this whole lineage of artisans that it was kind of understood that I would go into the arts as well. And I've never had a formal job really, other than high school. I've only really ever made and sold my work. So
that's a blessing.
I mean, it's not without its issues and trials, but I've always been really focused, and I think that's how this happened. I can hyper focus, and I teach. I have a lot of students. I have interns that stay here also, and I teach them the same thing. Is like the more you can focus and hyper focus, huge things will happen.
You mentioned that you sell your work. What is that one thing that somebody can ask you for that makes you really excited? Like, oh, you as an artist, I want to hire you to create something for me. What is that one thing that you think would make you the most excited?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I don't really take on commissions, but I think you mentioned, so I make these articulated insects. And that's kind of like my signature piece. The root of that was that I was really into science when I was a kid, and I wanted to be an entomologist. So study of insects. And I'm glad I didn't pursue that because I think that would have been a huge mistake. But creating insects and incorporating insects into my work is actually my entomology.
Yeah, if you go over there, you could see some sculptures too. I mean, there's sculptures everywhere.
Yeah, they really are everywhere, actually. Even at the other house, I've spread out down there. And down there is a lot of student sculptures out there. So that house
a typewriter
is owned by the nonprofit that I founded. So we host college-age art students, and they spend like 2 weeks to a month. They live there, and then they're part of whatever happens here.
Which college has the privilege of doing that?
Really, I mean, right now we've had 3 students, 3 consecutive years from Kutztown University, but I've had them from my own alma mater, Rhode Island School of Design. I've had a student from Pratt.
So it's not like school specific. It's just like you apply as an individual artist.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just word of mouth. But eventually, that's one aspect of the property that I want to continue in perpetuity, like long after I'm gone, and the foundation will then own this house. It should always foster young, creative minds.
What inspired you to create your foundation, and when did you start it?
So it's exactly 10 years ago I started the foundation, so 2015. The main reason it's to carry on the legacy. Like after when I check out, when I leave the earth, I wanted to bestow it to somebody, to something, some institution. So I decided that I didn't want the house and the property to ever go into state or federal hands. It's always going to be, independent institution. Ultimately, that's the main function, is to inherit the entire house, the contents, and actually there's a little capsule inside, so a wooden box in the floor with a thick piece of glass in which my ashes will be going. So I'll literally be here on display in my own museum.
That's beautiful.
And then while this is all happening, over my lifetime, we sponsored art students and get them on a trajectory to support themselves with their artwork. Yeah, so that is the mission, and that's the only real requirement of being an intern here is the students have to be wanting to support themselves with their artwork.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the mission of the foundation.
Do the students have a specific medium of art?
Not necessarily. I mean, everything that happens here is basically sculpture. So it's really a 3D experience. As far as media, it could be anything. Everyone who comes here works with ceramic. I teach everyone how to weld, woodworking, mold making, whatever's required. But it is three-dimensional art.
Do you guys spend any time in the digital 3D world?
Not really.
No?
Very analog.
Yeah.
I'm very, very analog. I'm not a Luddite when it comes to like knowing about 3D printing, and I'm sure there might be some aspect of 3D printing that I might incorporate, but no, everything's pretty much hands-on. And that's also one of our missions, is being sure that hand skills, like practical hand skills, are not lost.
Yeah.
Because the tendency is for a lot of students is 3D printing and CAD drawing, and keeping everything pretty analog. I think that there's so much a focus on digital art that a lot of my students, and I know this for a fact, that sometimes some of my students come here and they're almost a little debilitated because they don't have experience working with materials.
Like the hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that'll translate to all kinds of things in your life. You have to work with your hands to do like anything. So we try to take a holistic approach to that learning also. A lot of these students come and they don't know how to cook. They don't know how to do laundry, or they don't know how to, wash dishes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we try to take a holistic approach. So while they're here, they have to participate in everything, every aspect of living here also.
So this house is, in a way, kind of like a classroom, a campus.
Yeah, it's a teaching, a teaching institution. Right?
Got you. Now, you mentioned that when you pass, you want the house to move on and stay long. Is there anything specific about the house or a sculpture that you would want people to remember?
Well, I think more than anything, my little box in the floor with my ashes. That'll probably be very significant someday. It's a great story that I tell when people come here. I explain about how I'll be here, but someday when it's reality, it'll probably be really probably shocking to some people and kind of poignant and sentimental to other people. So yeah.
You're part of the art. Like you're part of the house.
Yeah, like you want to point out that specific part, like not to mess with that part. That's the sacred part of the house.
Yeah, and they'll, but it's in the floor, so some people may just walk over it and not even realize what that is in there.
So what is the schedule here? Like, this is a Luna Park where you showcase your work. How can people come visit? Is there like a specific schedule, or like, is it open to the public? How do you deal with that?
So there is definitely limited access. There are times to visit. It's kind of random, and a lot of it depends on what's going on here in my personal life, my travel schedule. So I set days, throughout the month. Usually, I'd say probably on the average like 5 days a month, from May until October. On my homepage, lunaparc.com homepage, there's a booking app. Now, what happens is if the days are filled, there's nothing on the calendar, so you just have to kind of keep checking in. Keep checking it. Yeah.
Is there anything we're leaving
out? Here,
out?
your queen.
Yes. Well, I'm the servant. That's Lily. Lily,
That's
come here.
Exactly what she said.
Yeah. Lily.
That's exactly what I said. My cat is with me. It's like you call him over, and it's like I'll come when I want to. Thanks.
Well, you know what? When she's been
Here's something
hunting all
interesting.
day, so yeah.
Does she love to explore? I'm sure she.
Oh
loves to
yeah, she's
explore.
always outside. Sometimes, like at night, especially, I can't get her inside in the summertime. She's out all night. like
Party
prowling.
girl.
I trained my cat to come to a whistle.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
The cat, like a little dog. It's crazy.
That's it, and she'll
Yeah.
come.
And
Because
she'll
she
run
expects a
over.
treat, though. I have to
Oh, I
fulfill
do,
that
yeah.
need.
In
Yeah.
order to
Yeah,
keep her
she's really
coming.
spoiled.
Yeah.
But in the room I call my nature lab, there's a couple jars of all the things that she brings home.
That's beautiful.
That's actually
Snakes.
really
She has her
cute.
own
Snakes.
art
Her
room.
art room, yeah. Her own exhibit.
Can you? Is the roof accessible?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that was always in the original plan for my addition, was to build this roof deck with kinetic sculptures. So pretty much everything up there moves in the wind.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
cool. I'm sad
They make
there's not wind
noise?
today.
They rattle and squeak sometimes. Yeah, yeah, they're not intentional, but they do bang around a little bit when it's really windy.
Do you ever know what you want to do next? Or do you feel like this place kind of tells you what's next?
It needs my guidance at every single step, and nothing would happen without, a little plan and a little planning. Right here, I can see probably like 10 sculptures or 10 projects that are in the works, like right now. So summertime is like I'm all over the place. So it's a little crazy sometimes, and it makes me a little crazy.
Like it's not a sequential process. It's like you dabble here, dabble there.
Oh yeah, I would.
That
I don't need to finish a project in order to start a new
You
one.
see, she's always complaining.
Yeah,
to me.
yeah, it drives me
No,
crazy.
see, I don't agree with that philosophy. I think that's kind of a detriment,
Yeah.
because, it's like life. Life kind of, it revolves.
Yeah.
And for me, from revolving around projects, and some of them take precedent. I mean, I have a project I was doing today. I was just mixing concrete, but there's a project supposedly ahead of that one down the hill, but it was in the blazing sun today, and I couldn't do it, so I was in the shade. So things
Yeah.
will take precedence, but
that makes sense.
yeah, it's always an ever-changing evolution of projects going on.
Have you ever thought about adding sound to the experience, or is nature enough?
There are enough night noises, yeah, but yeah, there's certain things that actually have their own. I have fountains. There's certain fountains around the house that have a kind of their own sound, also banging or cymbals. Yeah,
Like that you can interact with?
yeah.
Got
There's a fountain, the wheel fountain. It's right behind. You probably saw it when you were
Yes.
coming up, and that's kind of interactive.
How have different cultures and experiences abroad influenced your work here?
Well, I have been very fortunate. I've done a lot of traveling in my life. Been to about 40 different countries. And for one thing, I've brought back like artifacts and things, objects from all these places I've ever been. But also conceptually, just on this house, there are images maybe of the Gothic period in Europe or the Victorian time of Europe. I've traveled all over Asia, so there's some Asian influences, Northern Africa. So there's a lot of different imagery all throughout the house, inside and out. A lot of the tile work have like I call them little conundrums. They're like little mysteries, and some of them have to be deciphered. There's some Morse code. There's foreign languages.
That's like the Easter egg-ish
Like,
vibes, right? Like, say for somebody who has no idea what the house is. I mean, we're gonna show part of it in the videos, but I feel like that's good to know that there is things to find.
It's like every single trip that you take here is a different experience because of
Yeah.
that too. It's like when you watch a movie and then you miss so many things, you rewatch it and then you're like, oh, I didn't even notice this in the first one. Hi, Queen.
Come on, Lily.
You want to be on the video?
Come on.
We'll give you the mic.
Come on.
Come on. She talks to you. She's like,
Come on.
She's bright.
she's killing me. She's gorgeous. Her coat
Isn't she
is
pretty?
absolutely beautiful.
Come here.
Sure. I really love that she just talks to you. Hi, Queen.
Come here.
I'll give you your space. I can give you more space if you'd like.
Lily, come on.
She's so clean too.
Yeah, right? She's like out and about, but she is white.
Good girl.
You saw the way she jumped? She's
Yeah.
so elegant. Do you ever like revisit old pieces, or are you kind of just like, it's made, it's done, let's go to a new piece?
So what's happening now? So this wall right here, I built I started in 1999. Parts of it I never actually finished, but we're talking like 20-something years now. I have gone back to this project and started to kind of patch things up and actually finish some of the mosaic on it after 25 years.
Wow.
So yeah, occasionally I'll revisit something. The original little cabin got renovated literally like 35 years ago. So I've had to do a bunch of renovation inside and out on the original cabin. But, you know, at 30 years, something has to be renovated.
Yeah, that
So,
makes sense.
so regardless of, you know, if I wanted to or not, it had to be renovated. So, so there's kind of a big renovation going on in a lot of different things right now after 35 years, 36 years.
All right, well, thank you so much for sitting with us.
Certainly. So, see what I just found?
Is that her, the cat, or no?
Yeah, so I have a collection of all my cats that I've ever had. I have a collection. I save their whiskers when I find them, so I will.
Aw.
I'll
That's a really-
incorporate
yeah,
this
that's a long
into,
one.